In this week's astrology, we have a new moon in Virgo, along with Mercury going into the sign of Libra, but all the other planets not making any additional ingresses to other signs. And that's big because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. So as we're forming this new beginning in the Virgo house, we do see the energy and focus of Mercury shift from Virgo, where it's considered exalted, to Libra, where it's considered to balance, harmonize, and argue what is right and just for the people and in a relationship. But before I get into the new moon in Virgo and also Mercury ingressing Libra, I want to cover the mood of the week. And we start off the mood this Sunday with a moon in Cancer. Now that is a very beautiful moon placement as it internalizes and also refuels our nurturing waters. It recharges our emotions and connects us to the energy of true love and care. But since Pluto's been in Capricorn, every single time the moon is in its sign of rulership, she makes an opposition to Pluto, which intensifies this transit of the moon in the cardinal sign of Cancer. It really makes the emotions raw, really felt, which can be quite tumultuous, but yet very transformational and relieving if we work with energy to purge and release. So it's like releasing a valve from a pressure cooker. If we're able to let go of emotions that have not been providing us with a true expression of ourselves through that opposition of Pluto, Pluto allows this mirror to be reflected back so you can then change what you're seeing. You'll see things with a new perspective, but it's quite deep. And you won't feel this until about Tuesday. That's when the moon starts making that opposition to Pluto. But just before that opposition, we had the sun ingress the sign of Virgo. That's on Tuesday, August the 22nd, later on at night. It happens approximately at 8:16 p.m. PST, a little bit after sunset. So the day does end with a sun in Leo, and shortly after the sun sets, it also ingresses to Virgo. That same day as the sun shifts into the sign of Virgo, we also have the moon exactly at 13 degrees in Cancer. And this is where Sirius, the fixed star, the auspicious star, the dog star sits, which is quite amazing and interesting because we also had the celebration on 888 this month during Leo season, where the fixed star Sirius rises right before the sun rises and it becomes visible. This star is considered the spiritual sun. So we have the moon sitting there. Now, this Syrian star is connected to Syrian star seeds. So we're getting programs from the Syrian star seeds. And what they're doing is providing light language codes that are assisting us in our ascension process to better receive love, to better receive joy, to better receive more kindness within our hearts and be able to express it freely. So then we can spread these emotions and vibrations that are going to assist us in shifting our centers from within. So they're really aligning our chakra especially the heart chakra and the root chakra, so we can make these adjustments. And I find that this ingression of the sun to Virgo is very, very auspicious because of that moon sitting conjunct Sirius once again, meaning the entire season of Virgo will have additional guidance from the Syrian starseeds. The moon from there goes into the sign of Leo. Now, the moon does quite well in the sign of Leo, as it's very dramatic and expressive, and it shows another childlike energy that it connects really well with the archetype of Leo. Venus is also transiting the sign of Leo, which makes this transit of the moon in the sign of Leo much more positive, as they'll both rise as morning stars together in the AM right before the sun rises. There seems to be an emphasis of the sunrise, the dawn, the morning sky that has been playing out during the summer season. And it started with the energy of Cancer, and it also went through Leo as we experienced the Syrian rising star. And then now we're also seeing alignments of Venus, morning star, with a crescent waning moon. And on Thursday evening around 6 p.m. PST, we have Mercury ingressing the sign of Libra. He misses that new moon conjunction that happens on Saturday, the 27th, early morning around 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is a big deal because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. So this new moon alignment is happening while Mercury is in the sign of Libra, which is a sign that it doesn't rule. It's missed the sign of exaltation where Mercury expresses its best self, and that is the sign of Virgo. We do have that same day Venus in Leo at 19 degrees, and we have Mars at 4 degrees in Gemini. Now for Los Angeles, the ascendant is at 28 degrees in Gemini, and Mars is at 4 degrees, forming an exact square to the new moon in Virgo. This is a big deal because typically new moons are all about manifesting. And I'm not saying you cannot manifest with this new moon. I am a big believer that we manifest things all day, every day. However, really well planned out, executed things that we put time and effort and energy to tend to reap more rewards because we planned for them. And that's the energy of the moon. It's to plan things. It's our daily life, our daily routine, how we're living our lives. Now, in the sign of Virgo, when we have a new moon there, it talks about how efficient we are in our lives. But whenever we look at lunations and we start dabbling with setting intentions to manifest, calling in new opportunities, etc., we also want to take a note on what's going on with the aspects. And this time around, we have Mars forming an exact square to the new moon in Virgo. This is cutting. Mars in Gemini is ready to cut things out that are no longer serving you. So in a way, this new beginning that you will set intentions for will also have to cut some behaviors out that are no longer serving you. which I really do believe that a good combination of removing, cleansing, and getting rid of stagnant either energy or situations in our life opens up energetically, physically, and mentally more opportunities so then we can make our intentions manifest, right? If we want a new dress and we have no room in our closet, we must make room in that closet to fit that dress. So, what is it that we do? Do we shove that beautiful gown in the closet, or do we make room for it by getting rid of things that are no longer being worn by us, that we no longer find appealing, or we just don't fit in it? It's no longer matching our style or vibration, right? We would get rid of it because we want to make room for the new. So, this aspect of Mars forming a square to the moon requires that we cut things. And it's not going to be just one thing, because it is in the sign of Gemini, which is multiple things. Now, according to Nikola Stoyanovich and his degree theory, the fourth degree belongs to Cancer. Now, when we put these energies together, we can safely say that we need to focus on our home. And this is our physical home and also our energetic home and our bodies. The fourth house rules what we really treasure. It also rules sacred spaces. It rules your shelter. It rules the home that you live in. And it rules your family. This is great for cutting out behaviors, cutting out patterns, people, and situations that seem to be not functioning anymore. Now, this is not to blame others and victimize. There's a bigger purpose to the energy of Virgo, especially because the ruler is in Libra. It is about harmonizing and balancing situations and also being accountable for your part in the situation. Remember, it's typically not productive if we apologize to someone and at the same time we are blaming them or we're wanting to hold them accountable for their part. That's typically not how we heal situations. It's not about stating things such as, oh, when I needed you, you weren't there for me. Or when I needed you, you didn't support me the way that I needed you to support me. Or I felt this way, or etc., etc. When we provide or give someone an apology, it should just be an apology. And that doesn't mean you're going to apologize for the other person's actions. It could be true that they were not there in the way that you felt they should be there, but that is not for you to resolve. That is for the other party to find an ability, an awareness to that. And if they're not able to, with time, it usually does come out and the other person eventually can understand. But as long as you gave your part and you did your part and you genuinely didn't point fingers and put ifs and buts, you're harmonizing the situation. And that is what Mercury in Libra is talking about. Now, Mercury is forming and applying trine to Mars, and Mars is the energy that's squaring the sun and the moon in Virgo. So Mercury does come in to mediate, which is very Libran energy. This is energy of making sure that everyone has their equal share and that justice has been served. So, with this 4 degree highly emphasized, we can safely say that we're supposed to be working on our sacred space, also in our home. Now, this can be in the literal sense where you start renovating your home, and I can tell you this is what my mom is doing. She is literally renovating her kitchen. How suitable is that? No, I did not elect this for her. She intuitively picked this date. So, what she's doing at the beginning of this week is she is going to demolition her kitchen. And then from there, by Friday of this week, they come in with the material. And over the weekend, which starts Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, the kitchen will be remodeled, which I find very interesting that this is happening just when this aspect is being active in the sky. So she's already finding a way to utilize the energy. Now, I am actually planning to be helping her. So again, I'm also going to go and be with my family and help her with cleanup, be of service, right? Show up there so I can assist her and she can get this project done sooner than later. So it's not something I planned. It was last minute. She actually just told me today, and today is Sunday. And I told her, whatever it is that you need, I will be there to assist you. So, very suitable for this energy. She is getting rid of a kitchen that had served its purpose, that had fed us, that had housed our food and been a space where we provided sacred meals and practice family recipes. And that's where I learned how to cook. However, this kitchen was extremely old. The drawers were falling apart. The cabinet doors weren't closing all the way, and it needed a makeover. So we're remodeling this sacred space. Now, I can tell you regarding this kitchen why it's a big deal in my family is because that is how we come together and bond. As I no longer live with my mother, I visit my mother all the time. And when I visit, she always provides me with a warm meal, one of my mother's family recipes that she prepares in that kitchen. And there's never a day that I do not visit her where she's made an amazing meal for me. So I'm extremely spoiled that way because I get to taste my mom's food through the recipes that have been passed on, not just my grandmother, but my great grandmother and my great grandmother's mother. So long-term recipes have been passed down, and I learned how to cook those recipes in my mom's kitchen. So I'm actually really excited for her because this is going to be a new space and she's designing it herself. She's picking it out. When we purchased my mom's home, she obviously didn't design the kitchen at that point, and it was still in pretty good condition, so she didn't have to. So just an example of what you can do with this energy. Other things that you can do with this energy is find out, keep an eye on how you can be of service to people that need you. Don't ask to be of service. Look out for situations that are wanting you to be of service, or they provide you with information and then you can offer your services. But first and not least, the person that you should be of service to should be you. What is it that you're doing for yourself? Is there anything that you can change, modify, or tweak so you can prioritize more me time, or schedule in a spa day, or hang out with your friends and get massages or facials together, or just go and meet up for coffee somewhere and talk and have fun and connect? Is there a way that you can make more time to really finish reading that book, or to really finish a Netflix series, or to start writing a book? Whatever it is, find that time. Reflect on what is it that you'd love to do, and how can you be of service to yourself to make your life much easier, much more practical, ritualistic, and also fun. So Mars is here to cut things that are not working for you. And these are going to be quick. These are going to be fast, and they're no longer needed. So bye-bye. You need to let go of them. I would journal. Now it's a very mercurial energy. We have the Gemini energy emphasized, which is ruled by Mercury, and we have Virgo ruled by Mercury. So I would journal and try to explore anything that you feel you want to work on, and then write out a pros and cons list and see what are the pros, what are the cons, and what is it that you can do with that list so you can come up with a better solution. This is great for establishing a new lifestyle, or AKA a diet. I like to call it a lifestyle because it is a way of living. If you change your way of living, then you improve not just your health, but you improve the quality of your life in all aspects, as long as these changes are to support your body, your mind, and your spirit. So find a routine that fits perfectly with your lifestyle. Make time for yourself to take care of yourself. Make time to exercise. Make time to prepare yourself good meals. Make time to find a practical way of living. Remember, Virgo wants to bring efficiency. Now, lastly, we have Venus, who is the ruler of Mercury. So Venus is still quite controlling in this new moon, as Venus is the ruler of the sun and also the ruler of Mercury in this chart. And it's also making an opposition to Saturn. This is an applying opposition. Venus opposing Saturn brings seriousness, brings a little bit more heaviness. And by this time, the moon has shifted into that sign of Virgo, where it's at service, and it's making that square to Mars. And by the end of the transit of the moon in Virgo, it's going to have an opposition to Neptune. So it's also a little tricky, as the mood of the moon in Virgo is first being pushed to change and cut, and then feeling confused by these changes. Did I do the right thing? Did I do it too quickly? Oh, I'm so used to what I used to do before. I should just do it again. Or I don't like the new changes I made. I don't feel comfortable. I don't think I made the right decision. The moon will be quite confused as that opposition to Neptune perfects. And this is the energy that we end with during the week. Now, we don't have the exact opposition perfecting with the moon and Neptune, but we do have the exact opposition of Venus to Saturn, which brings seriousness. It brings dryness, more responsibility to the table. And it does assist us with choosing things in a more practical fashion And remember, anything that Saturn does feels like a big blockage, but it does bring opportunities for long-lasting change. Venus here at 19 degrees is also triggering the full moon in Aquarius that we just had, as the sun was at 19 degrees in Leo, and the full moon, or the moon, was in Aquarius at 19 degrees. So we have Saturn approaching 19 degrees because it's retrograde. So it's still bringing in the energy of that full moon in Aquarius, which was really intense, since the 19-degree point, or anything between 15 to 20 in the fixed signs, is forming a square to the nodes of fate. This means that what we're cutting away now, because remember, around that time when we had the full moon in Aquarius, Mars was still in the sign of Taurus, also being part of this square. Now Mars is in the sign of Gemini, and it's in the element of air, which is going to make a sextile aspect to Venus by house. So what this means is, whatever Mars is cutting away from our lives is actually going to allow us and provide opportunities for us that would lead us to shine, that would lead us to express ourselves in creative, vibrant ways that benefit us, benefit our vital force, benefit the areas of love in our chart, benefit that Leo house, and also harmonize relationships, because at the same time, Mars is also forming a trine to Mercury, who is being ruled by Venus during this transit, as Mercury is in Libra. So it's about harmonizing our relationships, harmonizing contracts that we have, or obligations that we have, and also partnerships, so then we can equally shine and cut out things that are not working for us anymore. Cut out things, procedures, people, or situations that are draining our vital force. And by us doing this, looking at our home and work environments, because the sun represents your career, the moon represents your home, in addition to other significations and meanings of both of those planets, but bringing in the fourth degree energy into the mix with the energy of that new moon there, we're talking about balancing and harmonizing our achievements and our sacred space. We need to cut some stuff out, and this may very well be that we need to cut out us overworking or overstressing on achieving and performing and working and spending less time at home, or vice versa, the other way around, which is we're spending too much time at home. It's causing insecurity issues because we're not feeling secure. We don't feel like we have enough resources, and we're searching for work, but we're not necessarily doing anything about it. Well, at this time, Mars squaring the new moon in Virgo, and also having other positive outlets, does show that by you taking the action, you're going to change these areas of your life. So this new moon manifestation needs to be tied in with how you're showing up of service to yourself, to others, and how you are maximizing your daily routines so they can assist you in achieving a position that is going to be more fulfilling, and also achieving relationships that are going to be more supportive, and building a great foundation, a secure base, so you can thrive and be well rooted in everything that you set yourself out to. It is not going to be a super easy full moon. As you can see, there's some tension. It's also triggering some points from other previous lunations that were a little bit tense, but it will be something that needs you to pay attention and needs you to take action. So if I can sum up this new moon in Virgo, it's about manifesting with action. This reminds me of the book Sweat Your Prayers. Mars likes to sweat, he likes to work out. So incorporate movement within your manifestation. Maybe you can do some yoga or do some sun saltations that day or moon saltations so you can channel this energy in and also move it throughout your body. So this was the scoop for the energy of the week. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and to comment below. Let me know how this week went for you. If you're catching this on the podcast, your review is much appreciated. And I will see you for AstroTalks Astro Astrologer segment Mondays on IG Live. And as always, stay curious, be open-minded, and never stop asking what's in your stars. Love and light.